What's going on, guys? Tails86 here with Wii-kly Review, and today we're going to be doing a review for the Hyperkin Supaboy. Now, for anybody who does not know anything about the Hyperkin Supaboy, let's go ahead and do a little history lesson. Hyperkin is a third-party brand company that does accessory trademarking for all different types of systems, including systems today, and as well as is known for making really awesome retro consoles. They're known for making the Retron series-based game systems that do everything from playing Super Nintendo games, to NES games, to Genesis games. Now, they've made a lot of different consoles, and they're also right now in the works of making the newest Retron addition to the family, the Retron 5, which I'll go ahead and talk about that probably later on in the review. But for right now, we're going to be focusing straight on the Supaboy. So what exactly is the Supaboy? It is a portable Super Nintendo that not only just plays American Super Nintendo games, but it also supports, you guessed it, Super Famicom games. Any Super Famicom game that you have will work with this system. One of the other really cool things about this system that you can also do is take a look at this. I'm pretty sure everybody remembers this. A Super Game Boy. You used to be able to play Super Game Boy games on your Super Nintendo. Well, guess what? The Supaboy, also known as the Supaboy on here, can do the same. So let's go ahead and take a look at the unit. Now, when you first go ahead and get the unit, you're going to notice it comes with a rechargeable battery. It's going to come with some AV cables, these ones right here, and of course the following, which is for the charger. But anyway, let's go ahead and show off the actual unit. So you're going to also get this really pretty box. First off, let's go ahead and actually real quick before we do that, we're going to show off the box real quick. So take a look at this. As soon as you open it, that's pretty awesome. Play like it's 1991. So they literally tried to go ahead and copy, in a way, just like how the Super Nintendo was with the packaging. They literally tried to have it close to that. And I do really and truly favor Hyperkin for their decision on how they made the box, because it's really simple, it's easy to be able to read about it. So of course this can also be played literally anywhere. I mean, you can play, again, as I said, Super Famicom games and as well as SNES games. So let's go ahead and take the unit out and show it. Okay, so once we have it out of this bag, this very nice like velvety casing bag, it will look exactly like this. This will be the actual unit itself. So let's go over the unit. We have a standard D-pad, kind of what you would expect from a Super Nintendo pad. Then we have the start and select buttons. Very nice rubbered buttons, I will actually say. They did a really good job on those. They weren't cheap. They did really good on that. It sports a 3.5-inch LCD screen. A little bit more of darker, I would think, in my opinion, but it's still really good. So now let's go ahead and show off one of the other features that's cool with it. So of course we have the SNES slots, which is actually really cool about this, is not only can you be able to just play your games portable, but again, as I stated, you're going to be also able to use your original controllers with it. So the Super Famicom controller that I have right here will easily be able to just plug straight into the unit, and you can be able to use it when you're gaming. It's pretty cool. So now one of the other things we're going to show off is exactly how these games are going to run. So one of the things I will say about with the system that I do like is that of course it sports a lithium-ion charge, which is one of the best parts about it, because you really hate to go ahead and try to put batteries in this thing. It would be like the worst disaster ever. Like, I mean, seriously, think about the Super Scope. Remember the Super Scope from the SNES? Remember how many batteries that took? I think that took like 6 AA batteries or something, like 6 or 4, something around that. But anyway, this one does not require any kind of batteries like that. It just uses a standard AC adapter. Now, of course, you can also see that the buttons that they used were from the North American version of the Super Nintendo, not the very stylish and awesome Super Famicom ones, which I kind of wish that they could have done that. But then again, that's just my opinion though. But nothing too bad though. So now, of course, we also have a reset button. Then on the bottom of the system, you have it for a headphone jack, you have your volume, and then you have your LED light when charging the system. So let's go ahead and put a game in, and let's basically just take a look at it real quick. So now let's go ahead and show off the actual system running with a couple games. We're going to show off Super Mario Kart and Chrono Trigger. So one of the things, again, that I did mention is you can use any controller that you have that's Super Nintendo based, like this one right here, of course, my Super Famicom controller, which, by the way, I love this controller. Everybody else can say it's just retro cool, but I like it for a certain reason. Not just because it's retro cool. Because it's awesome. It's better than the concave. Anyway, that's off topic. So, let's go ahead and show off some Mario Kart. And we're going to see if we can play good. So, guys, also, I'm sorry that I'm not running this on my Roxio. I really wish I could. But then again, I would be playing that on the Wii, because I don't have a Roxio, the simple Roxio capture card. I'm only using the HD one for my other consoles. But anyway, I'm going off topic. I'm not even talking about Hyperkin. Hyperkin's gonna get mad at me. So anyway, so again, this literally makes it so that the Supaboy actually will turn into a Super Nintendo Entertainment System clone. And I mean, it does it very well. I have played all my games on this Supaboy, and every single one of them respond like perfectly. Again, I do have a couple little tiny complaints about the system though, which I'll go ahead and mention about while I'm actually racing. One of those little tiny complaints actually has to deal with number one, the screen, which for some reason, I don't know why. I mean, I know it's just a regular LCD screen, like how they use for consoles nowadays, but to me, it just seems, I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess mine just looks a little bit different. I mean, it kind of looked slanted when I first got it, but then again, I guess that's just how they designed it. But that's one little gripe I have. The second gripe that I do have is that when you turn, or excuse me, when you start to lose a battery charge on your actual system, instead of the system normally just turning off, the system will still have the game playing, even the same way with the sound, which I kind of wonder why Hyperkin did that way. I guess that's just how they decided to do it. But anyway, let's go ahead and show off now some Chrono Trigger. So guys, here's a little bit of Chrono Trigger running on the Supaboy, and as you can tell, the game plays it pretty well. Let's go ahead and actually show off some the super moves as well on some of these aliens. Here we go, we used napalm on that, and we took one of them out. So, again, the only thing I really have a gripe with the Supaboy is just, number one, I would have actually made the D-pad a little bit tighter. I know I didn't actually mention that before, but there are some times where when you're playing on the actual portable alone, that it will kind of act a little bit loose, a little bit more than a normal Super Nintendo controller would be. But then again, I mean, that and the blue screen thing is only the really bad things that I've actually noticed with this game system. Nothing horrible. I mean, I've not seen any problems with it. The system has never had any crashes on me. It's never crashed any of my games. All my games save data stays exactly the same, just as I remember it. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with the system. I mean, other than just a couple things, like I said, the blue screen when the system starts to die from not enough battery juice and everything inside it, and just that kind of stuff, guys. So, I mean, thank you again for watching. Hyperkin, thank you again for, first off, giving me the chance to also review this product for you. I mean, I know that there's a lot of other reviewers out there that y'all have doing these things, and I mean, I just thank you very much for even giving me the chance to review one of your products. And I also want to give a big shout out to Tim, the Mega Retro Geek, for recommending me the Hyperkin Supaboy. He was one of my main influences on buying the system, and Guys, I'm going to be giving the Hyperkin Supaboy an 8 out of 10 because the system is very well made. There are some things, again, that I don't like about it with, like, again, the blue screening whenever the system's dead. I think they should have just had it so the system just turns off on its own. But apparently Hyperkin wasn't thinking to do that. But that's just a couple of the little gripes that I have. So, guys, again, I'm going to be giving the Hyperkin Supaboy a 8 out of 10. You can buy one of these Supaboys from eBay or Amazon. They will range all different prices. I've seen some of them range to, at the least amount, I think like $65. I think it's about $65. I actually paid for mine, I believe it was $74. So, I mean, if you're desperate on trying to find a Super Nintendo, and if you cannot find one that is in good working order, and you don't want to have to go out and find parts and have to redo the casing and all that kind of stuff like they used to have problems with the original Super Nintendo consoles, definitely go ahead and do pick up one of these. It's a really good third-party brand. I know that a lot of people try to say, like, stay away from third-party brands, they're not that good, but I mean, trust me guys on this, Hyperkin is a very well-known brand. They make some amazing systems, so guys, please just try to give them a chance. And again, thank you Hyperkin, thank you Tim the Mega Retro Geek, and guys, this has been Tails 86 with Weekly Review, showing off the awesome Hyperkin Supaboy. So thank you guys for watching. Please feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe if you liked the video, and thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.